At 230 kilometres, stage 13 was the longest of the entire race and had a good claim to being the prettiest too. The route was a rolling one through the Massif Central from Béziers to Montelimar, home of Nougat. Well, I'm not sure what the melting point of Nougat is, but it was an extremely sticky day on tarmac, 42 degrees reportedly on some parts of the route. With a heat-stunned peloton taking it easy, the day was perfect for anyone with the energy to get into a break. 5 men did: Jens Voigt, Oscar Pereiro, Sylvain Chavanel, Manuel Quinziato and Andrei Grivko. The highest placed of them was Pereiro, 46th in the general classification, 28 minutes 50 behind Floyd Landis. So the break was no real threat to the yellow jersey, except that the lead started stretching like a piece of local confectionery left out in the sun. With Landis apparently uninterested in chasing, it began to look as though Pereiro might be the new leader. The question was, who was going to take the stage? Andrei Grivko, the young Ukrainian, launched an ill-advised attack on the final climb with 25 kilometres to go and instantly regretted it as the group countered and dropped him. So, on the run into Montelimar, there were 4 men left: Quinziato and Chavanel, the young legs, and Voigt and Pereiro, the old hands.
4 kilometres to go, all under pressure at the back.
Well, it's 28 minutes back to the main field. They've really got to turn up the gas a little bit if Floyd Landis wants to keep the overall lead. But Chavanel looking over his shoulder there, bit of help. I need some help now, Quinziato. Wow. We've got to keep together. We've got to pull this back. And Jens Voigt, Phil, not holding anything back at all.
Well, Jens Voigt rocks and rolls. He has that long, tall saddle on his bike here, but if he gets a chance to break him, he will. And he's realised that he's got the gap, and he's going to make them work so hard to close it. He's got to be careful about Pereiro, though. He'll carry him to the sprint win.
Well, they're not confident. They're looking over their shoulder, checking the gap. These gaps don't seem like very much, but the end of a long day like this, they're unbelievably difficult to nail back. Voigt swings over up to Pereiro now. It's your turn, mate. We're not going to drag you to the finish. We have to work together if we're going to crack the Frenchman and the Italian.
All 4 of these riders are now tickling the red zone of their effort, and if you can just hold it for a second longer than the others, you'll crack them. Hey, these kilometres seem rather short now. There's another one going past. This must be 3 to go.
Ticking by now. Chavanel is a little bit worried about this situation. He really, Phil, needs to bury himself. Forget about the Italian with you. Forget about Quinziato. Put your head on the stem and nail it back.
We see that's the difference between him and Jens Voigt. Voigt would have continued to attack until his days were up, as Chavanel has cracked third, paying too much attention to Quinziato. Now there are 2, and what can Jens Voigt do about this? Because he's going to have to force Pereiro to come and help him, because Pereiro will beat him in the sprint.
Over the Rhone Valley, long river in France, and look at that. They've really opened up the gap now, because Sylvain Chavanel will not do it himself. He wants help to come from the Italian. Look at his face here, Phil. A few moments ago, there's the move. He decided to try and get across the gap. This is a move he should have made 5 kilometres ago.
It's a do-or-die effort here now, and Quinziato is strong enough to have another little dig and follow him along. 12 seconds is the gap he's looking to bridge. 28 minutes to the peloton. Remember, there's a win bonus for Pereiro if he wins, and then we just need about 28.5 minutes before the bunch, and he's got yellow. It's as simple as that right now. These 2 are starting to work together now. It might spring back a little bit advantage, Voigt. Look at Jens Voigt. This man never gives up. 2 kilometres to go for the chasers.
Well, the gap between them are hovering at around about 14 seconds, but you see the real desire is not there with Sylvain Chavanel. For some reason, he doesn't want to drag Quinziato to the finish.
Well, this is a good result as well, because it looks as though Oscar Pereiro might be up to 1st or 2nd in the race tonight. They go under 1 kilometre to go, 1,000 metres. Jens Voigt has manoeuvred Pereiro into the lead.
Well, he's got him on the front. Jens Voigt is in second position. Look at this move by Jens Voigt down the side.
A huge effort, dig deep, and it may be it, but it's a long way to the line. He's gone at 800 metres. This man, though, gets up to a high level and can hold it there. Look at the face, and he's coming back, a desperate effort. No, he's not. I think Jens Voigt just slipped in overdrive here, as Voigt now is going to look for the victory for CSC, but you know, he's still there. He's looked over his shoulder, and he still has got him on his wheel. Pereiro has nailed back Voigt as they turn for home. What is going to happen now?
Well, he's back on the wheel of Jens Voigt. The only way Jens could go was to lead out, and this now is a little bit of conversation going on. Well, come on, mate, you want to win, you come to the front. Why are you sitting on my wheel?
A huge effort, and then Voigt says, you've caught me, come by me, and Pereiro says, no thanks, I'll stay right here now until I see the white of that finishing line. So Voigt has got to go again. He made his move a little too soon, because I think Pereiro now might get this. The determination of Voigt has triumphed on the day. That was an extraordinary finish for Jens Voigt, and without doubt, he's won 2 stages now, the Tour de France. That was the best. Jens Voigt sprinting to the line, beating Oscar Pereiro, and Kenziato is going to finish it off for Italy here, because Sylvain Chavanel is going to have to make do with a 4th today.
Well, that was a great move by Jens. He tried so many times over the last 3 or 4 kilometers to get the gap, and at the end of the day it was a short sprint. It was almost a slow motion sprint, and that isn't surprising after 6 hours in the saddle. Kenziato gets just across the line 4th place, as Chavanel has to be happy with 3rd.
Andrei Grivko rounded out the top 5, rolling in a chastened 6 minutes 24 behind the winning time of Jens Voigt. More than 20 minutes behind Grivko, the bunch was still rolling along on its Saturday afternoon fun ride.
Look at that, the clock has gone by, so Floyd Landis won't be required at the podium today. Well, there's big Magnus Baxted off to the left. Eric Zabel is now centre, moved over to the right. In the white is Tom Bonan. On Tom Bonan's wheel is Robbie McEwen. His head is moving around. He's looking for the gaps, waiting for them to open as he runs for the line. He's going to have to burst out of it now, because is the Bernardi going to sign this one off? There's the lead-out train for Tom Bonan. Tom's not there. Magnus trying to come through on the test. Magnus, who's got Tom Bonan on his wheel right now. As we swing over towards the right, Bernardi waiting to pounce here. It's going to be a very tight finish. Bonan is getting his sprinting legs back, and McEwen, it is a matter of honour this. Well, Tom, you beat me yesterday. Boy, you're going to do it again today. No, you are not. McEwen has got revenge on yesterday's finish. Tom Bonan is going to go home depressed again.
Well, Tom Bonan just got nicked on the line there by Robbie McEwen, but we will have a brand new yellow jersey tonight. It is going to be confirmed in a few moments' time. The new leader is Oscar Pereiro.
There he is, the new leader of the Tour de France.
In fact, technically, he was one of only 5 men left in the race. The entire peloton had come in outside the daily time limit, and the commissaires had to adjust the cut-off point to keep them in. So the overall standings now look like this, with Pereiro first, 1 minute 29 ahead of Floyd Landis, and things unchanged behind him, except that everybody was bumped down a place. The domino effect pushed Andreas Klöden out of the top 6. He was still 1 spot ahead of his teammate Michael Rogers. David Miller was 76th, Bradley Wiggins 139th. Well, Landis may not have wanted the yellow jersey, but Oscar Pereiro looked delighted to have relieved him of the burden, and he spoke to Ned Boulting as he came down off the podium.
At the beginning of the day, if I'd given you a choice, a stage win or the yellow jersey, which would you have taken?
Oh no, I attacked for winning stage. After 100 kilometers, okay, it's possible yellow jersey, and after I think only in the yellow jersey. But this morning, I attacked for winning stage.
And what are your ambitions now that you've pulled on the yellow jersey? Can you do more? Because you can climb and you've got a lot left in the tank. What do you want to do?
Yes, normally today is very good for the team. It's nice, it's sure the big party, and tomorrow I think it's possible. After the Alpe d'Huez is the hard day for me, but I go to limit for the maximum.
Just finally, you mentioned the team. After the accident with Valverde, this will mean so much to them, I guess.
Yes, this yellow jersey is a little for Alejandro, because the crash the 4 days for the team is good, and now it's other motivation for the all riders.